Last time on Lawful Stupid.
We had a dinner and we played drinking games.
A successful mission that turned into a dinner and drinking games.
A very important diplomatic mission to gain access to the Ridgecrest Peaks for the Coalition Force from Findahl was a success.
Yeah. Thanks to drinking games.
Thanks to drinking. Thanks to our most steadfast of all allies in this campaign. Alcohol. This episode brought to you by alcohol.
Jose Cuervo.
Boys are good.
Yeah, so you guys do that. You guys did that, rather. And so a month goes by. You guys travel back through the Holbeck region, and you link up with Spawn and Sharinga and Findahl and Obix and the whole crew that you had met, and the forces in general. When you've returned, you noticed more troops had arrived, and you help gather them up in the we'll just say help TM, and you guys Spawn and Henry. No, I said Obix. Spawn and Henry.
Obix isn't there.
Oh, Avon. That's confirmed. Shit, I'm mixing campaigns. Yeah. Good correction. Obix is a Tales of the Arcane Wars character, where Avon is a current day Lawful Stupid character.
Hey, quick question. I just got some communique from the mayor. The mayor just called me, and he said, hey, before you fucking do anything, while you're in the same room with Henry, confirm whether or not he knows why Triggs is in silence.
So hold on, we'll cover that.
The mayor. Okay, it just came from the mayor, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, the mayor. Confirm. We'll cover that. I'm going to give you guys a chance to relive your month, right? Say your piece, and we can work those out. Sure. You guys, Spawn and Henry, march the forces through the Ridgecrest Peaks, and they there is some resistance in the Ridgecrest Peaks. There are these almost like bandits that formed, or these rebel groups that when this large forest went through, they tried to pick off pieces of the coalition, is what we're calling it now, and they were steadily dealt with, but it became like a running joke throughout the camps of the bandits of the Ridgecrest Peaks, trying to do anything, because their attacks were not met with any real success compared to any type of armed forces. So these troops travel through Ridgecrest Peaks, and you guys remember going under these large gates that are there's two spots really to come out of Ridgecrest Peaks and head into Silence, and they're both guarded by the Ridgecrest Legion, but there's these massive gates, and they're big archways, and they're armed to the teeth, and you get the feeling that you're on the backside of the gate, so to speak. It's more meant to keep people out from the north than it is to keep people traveling from the south. But you guys do that. You march through. And Christoph, you did ask me to tell you, and we'll resolve that in your timeline situation of your month. But there is a point where you cross into the Silence territory. Yeah. But you guys do encroach into Silence territory, and the climate that has been fairly temperate has gotten cold and frigid, and it didn't take long. It's almost it wasn't like you moved through. It was one day you were doing 70s warm, and when you crossed that line, it became very frigid, very low in temperature. And the coalition came fairly prepared. Most of them began to bundle up and keep warm. And you guys find yourself getting near the edge of some of the territory lines, but you don't feel like they went as far as you necessarily thought they would. Based on a conversation that I think you guys had with Spawn, where you wanted another opportunity at diplomacy, where Spawn was more like, I will give you that opportunity like I promised, but things are getting worse, so we're going to stage closer now that we have permission to go through the Ridgecrest Peaks. And I know that's kind of putting a little bit on you, Christoph, as far as like comfortability, but he wasn't going to not do that, right?
Sure.
And so you guys stage, and you're still well out of the reach of the capital, and a couple days march out of the reach of these forts. And over that month, there has been whatever happens in your own like sum ups that you guys will have, but you notice like a lot of deep camaraderie between like the different races, the different guilds, the different nations, all in this coalition. And more notably, over the last like 3 or 4 days of travel through silence, this coalition of forces has been greeted by fiends. And there have already been skirmishes and battles just to get into the edge of silence. And Christoph, you specifically, and some of the other magic users have talked about it, and I won't go into details, I'll let you do whatever you want with that. These dead spots are getting worse. And they're getting more rigid, and they're getting more violent, so to speak. Not only are they like going like dead when you walk through them, when you're coming back, there's almost like a hard feedback as you transcend from like this emptiness to full on torrent again. And so, you know, really, it's like a hard march. Just the last few days through the cold, the winter, like everything's wet and frozen, and you're having to fight these fiends who don't seem terribly affected by the effects of the weather at all. And you're kind of seeing casualties on your side more than theirs. But that's also because they've been able to throw like a large amount of numbers. And the last fight was one of the more vicious ones because they almost seem to rival the coalition. Coalition is like advanced party, because obviously you guys don't move as one big unit. The advanced party, which consists of probably 100 people, they had almost an equal amount of fiends. And the forces are seemingly larger as you guys push into silence. And so you've decided not to go further in and Svan decided to give you the opportunity to do whatever diplomacy you were going to do, as they set up what they consider their forward operating base, where they're setting up like temporary like walls and fortifications and stuff like that. And they've got arcanists from the they've got architects building like really powerful structures in the locations that they can. Even where they set up camp, there's places that they can't manufacture things because the torrent is either thin or completely non-existent. And that's what we're going to pick up. And so I'm going to give each of you boys like an opportunity to kind of talk about what happened over your month, and we'll like resolve them as you see fit.
I'll start. So the moment that we stepped foot across the border and officially entered silence, Christoph kind of peels off from the main group, and I'm looking. I imagine, just for narrative's sake, we're in a dead spot. So I had to find a place where the torrent is strong enough, and I like climb up on some hills, and I eventually find it, and I pull out my new trick, which is to send a copper wire tablet message, and I'm going to create a copper wire tablet, and I'm going to etch into it the words, "I am home." And then I'm going to think really hard about Palace. And I'm going to release it into the torrent.
Yeah, so you're on this this like mountain peak almost. Maybe not mountain, but hill peak. You're at the apex of a larger hill. And as like the snow's like pouring around you, you're etching into this copper leaflets that you've made, and almost like tossing it into the wind, you let it up into the torrent, and it like vacuums it away, and you have a good sense that was delivered to where you intended it to go.
Very good. Additionally, I'm going to say,
how did you sign that letter?
It was unsigned.
It was unsigned.
It was just a copper tablet that said, "I am home."
Okay.
I want to say that I am always with the forward operating group, constantly. I refuse to not let the first face, if we go to any sort of like town or village, I refuse for my face not to be the first one that's seen. So I'm kind of like leading this charge because I know that Swan has promised me diplomacy, but soldiers don't always obey orders to the T, and so I want to make sure that I'm there. And to that effect, in that most recent skirmish where things got a little bit sideways, because I've been in a lot of these skirmishes, I think I've been really hard about not popping dragon mode, because I don't want everybody to super know that. But I think in this last one, like, the odds were kind of against us and we were getting overwhelmed, and so in an act of desperation, I popped dragon mode and kind of bailed them out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be the case because Findahl and Frost have not consistently been with the marching forces. Mm-hmm. So I think that makes sense.
That's all I've really got.
Okay. So that's what you kind of did with your month.
Oh, and did I get follow up word from Avia on, or did we just link up with Henry? Do I need to follow up on that, or is that an Atlas thing?
Let's leave that to an Atlas thing. Like we'll kind of put your bit. We'll just like feed your information in that. There's no reason to roleplay that out.
Understood.
In my opinion. So since we're recapping what you guys did through the months, Alex, why don't you tell me what Rowan would have been doing during that time?
I think if anything, when not in skirmishes, just kind of trying to be jovial and like sometimes playing the lute, but leaning a little bit towards like the viol more. After, having been whisked away so many times, not really wanting to like take the chance to fucking get whisked away again with it. And just kind of like cutting up with them, and then definitely in combat, riding John Elkway most of the time.
Okay.
And just like riding around shooting like a dumb looking cowboy.
Do me a favor and roll d20.
Okay. This is a 3.
You've been doing that, but like not enough people have been noticing and picking up on it.
Oh, that's fine. It's just for fun, and me and Elkton John to have fun.
Elkton John.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to deal with during your month, or you good?
No, just kind of hanging out, being supportive.
Okay.
Just very simple.
Yeah. He's just simple.
Kind of man.
I'm gonna have shit to deal with later. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy the peaceful ride into town.
And I think, and I'm gonna speak for you a little bit, and feel free to correct me. I think, some of these nights you've been like busting out that purple flame, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and telling stories and trying to keep the mood light, right? Like.
Yeah, that's what I kind of meant. Like just playing songs, cutting up with them, like keeping the mood is best.
Cool, my dude. Just trying to paint that picture. Pay some homage to your purple flame, your storytelling days.
To your Prince's little red Corvette flame.
Yeah, exactly.
Your purple rain flame.
Yeah. So Atlas, what do you kind of want to cover in your month? from like go into the forward operating base or the coalition in Holbeck, and then like marching through Ridgecrest and then onto the foothills of Silence.
So a couple things. First, that sword that Henry was working on. Status.
So he has restored it to what you would consider its original form. In his conversation with you, and we're not going to play that out, he talks about how like he restored it to like the standard great sword setup, but whatever this sword was made of in the past, like whatever the original smith like used as a primary ingredient, he wasn't able to replicate. So it's not nearly as sharp or as powerful as it would have been, or you would have been accustomed to.
But is it a pretty looking sword? Like, did he do a good job? I imagine.
Oh, it's Henry. He did an amazing job.
Immaculate.
Yeah,
Cool. So of course there's that. Secondly, most importantly,
so what do you do with this sword, though?
I'm not going to use it. I'm going to give it as a gift to Farron. When we go back through, it'll be a gift that I give to him.
Do I know about that?
Maybe if we're traveling together and you were like, "Hey, you got your sword back," I think you would probably say something about that.
I would probably just mention that there's someone else who might consider that an amazing gift, and his name is Findahl.
Oh, and I would be willing to reconsider, and I would probably ask you like, well, shouldn't we give Farron something, or better? What kind of guy is that? We kind of have that conversation probably.
I already know that Silencian schnapps is the way to go. He doesn't get them very often, especially probably if there's been embargo or some tensions between the two kingdoms. He probably hasn't had Silencian schnapps in a long time, and homeboy likes to drink.
So then I think at that point I'd come to them like, hey, you're right. Findahl has been really good to us, and then when we come back from Silence,
well, and he knew Avia. He knew Avia's mother, and he knew presumably Avia.
Ilaria, as I know it's
I say Avia. Damn it, A names, dude. I've been so good at not calling Avia Ilaria.
Yeah.
He knew Ilaria's mother. He presumably knew Ilaria when she was alive. This might mean something to him. I don't know. Maybe he'll be like, "Oh, air balls." I don't know.
So then actually what I'll do is I'll leave it for safekeeping somewhere back in Holbeck.
I mean, Findahl's with us.
Oh yeah,
Findahl's been traveling on and off with us. With you guys.
So first passing, I would have. I'll give it to him then. So if that's it, we don't have to go super deep into that unless there's something.
That's kind of a moment. Like let's work that one out.
I'll send Atlas with my half of the medallion so that hopefully he can talk to Findahl as a competent human being.
Sure. So let's just assume Atlas came up. Findahl was super weird. Atlas was like, "Hey, Findahl," click, and they like magnet together. And then of course you do your thing where you like take your side off so he's not like personal space with you. And so as per the medallion's plot device that we've set up is he's got some sanity and he says, yes, Atlas, what can I do for you?
Well, first I just want to thank you for all your help. Since the beginning, it's been a very long road. You've been a dear friend to us, and so as you know, Laria is gone from the sword. Rest his soul. But I had Henry remake it, and talking to Kristoff, figured you might want this as a gift, and so I'm giving it to you.
And Findahl like puts out his hand with the gauntlet and like takes it by the hilt, and
it's not as Henry says. He couldn't find the metal that it was once made from, but I'd say it's still a very fine artifact at the least.
And you kind of see him tear up, and he kind of looks it over and he says, It's definitely not. It's definitely not what it once was. But are you sure?
Yes, and for other reasons. But yes, I would like you to have it.
Thank you, Atlas.
It's the least we can do. I love you.
I appreciate this more than you know. Please be careful as we go forward.
But you'll be there, Findahl. We don't have much to worry about.
And as you say that, like, he kind of like, you see him like grit his teeth as you kind of like say that. He says, yeah, I'm not sure that I'll necessarily be with you the whole time.
Well, where are you going?
Hopefully to the end with you boys.
That sounds pretty grim. Unless... Oh, you mean the end? Like there's a place on a map I saw once called the end. Are we going there?
And Findahl kind of smiles, and you see him like conjure up like a scabbard, and it's like blue. It's like ornate, and it's blue, and it's metal, and it's got like these silver trimmings around it, and there's some like symbols that you don't understand, like you've never seen, and he like slides the blade into this the scabbard, and he puts it over his back and like clasps this like really nice like leather strap that he like conjures up, and he smiles and he says, I can see why the other half of me likes you so much, Alice.
And I'll just cover my mouth.
And he kind of laughs at that, and he says, I really am sorry about all of that. I hope you know.
Well, it's kind of our thing now. It is what it is.
And he kind of smiles, and I think you guys have a little more small talk before you depart with the other half of the amulet.
My parting phrase is, "I'll see you out there."
I think he nods to that. I don't think he has like, or I think actually, as you do that, you're like walking away with the other half, and you hear Findahl say, "Not if I see you first, big boy." Yeah. So canonically now, the three of you, from that point on, which is about halfway through the journey, every time you see like Findahl, who's like not necessarily lucid, he's got like that sword attached to him at all times.
And then the last thing I want to do is talk to Henry about
yeah, sure. I think that's something you guys do probably the first third of the march, right? Kind of like solving things. I think
you can just kind of tell it's like overall we don't have to have that combo if you want to speak through it.
No, yeah, I think, I mean, the well, it's so like
Update, she's good. Update.
She did.
We got lost. So we were at the farmer's market, and she wandered off.
She left me. I'm terrible.
So, no, you guys, you talk to Henry, and I'll give you like the background. We'll talk some of that out because like I think that's a little bit too much for me to just paint over for you. But I mean, you obviously asked when the last time he seen Teresa, and the last time he was with Teresa, she was in Riverside before he went off. But Swan basically, and he kind of explained, Swan basically came to Riverside and called in an old favor and said, where they were going, he needed Henry's help. And Henry couldn't turn that down. So the last time he left Riverside Teresa was in Riverside, and he was just as shocked as you to hear that news. So if there's more to that you want to play out and talk about, here's your opportunity.
I just want to know: is she in danger or she's there under protection?
And Henry, who is surprised at the news that she is there, says, "Atlas, I wish I knew, son. I can't fathom why she would be in Riverside or Silence.
It's alright, Pops. We're gonna figure this thing out.
I hope so, because family is everything, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for her.
Me too.
Okay, cool. So, we kind of clean those things up.
Are you happy, everyone? We did it.
Yes. I feel quenched.
I mean, I'm mostly happy that, like, one of your most beloved characters you've now, like, dealt with her disappearance and one of your core things. But yeah, everyone. I'm looking at you, everyone. So yeah, you guys are on this fortification that has been established with the coalition of forces from Oxbane and the continent, Eos. And some other outlying areas. I think Spawn and Kristoff have just had a conversation about, trying to resolve this with diplomacy. And I'll let you boys pick up from there as far as like where you're going to want to head with this and your method in general. Like, what are you doing?
It's very simple. If you intend to harm a single citizen of Silence, you'll have to go through me first. I don't think that will be necessary. All I have to do is speak to my brother, let him know what our purpose is here. It's not to harm Silence or its interests or the people therein, but rather it is there to weed out this evil that exists, and he will agree that these fiends need to be stopped, and he will support us.
Okay, and you're having this conversation with like Spawn and them, or like where are you?
Whoever wants to listen, mostly Spawn.
Whoever wants.
He's just like in the middle of the camp. It's very easy. We just I'll go talk to my brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think I've made my opinion on the matter quite known that, and I've been kind of entrenched with this forward post who's been fighting off these monsters and everything. Like they know me, they've seen me. I've fought alongside them. We've bonded a little bit, just like. But also, if you fucking harm a hair on the head of any innocent Silencian citizen, I'll fucking turn into a dragon and eat you.
And I think your faith is like restored in this in one of the like skirmishes where like you guys are traveling through one of the smaller villages. Where, like, your force is huge. So, like, you guys traveled through the village. The rest of the force traveled around it, But, like, you saw, like, the coalition, like, make great efforts to, like, stand between the village and these fiends, right? Like, there's a portion of that where, like, the fiends break off and try to sprint through, right, to get to this village. And there's just, like, this huge, like, wave of, like,
not today.
Understanding that wasn't allowed, right? Like, and they just like, even putting themselves at risk, right? Turning their back to the front line to go after these guys.
Yeah.
So I think some of your faith is restored in that, knowing that they're not intending to steamroll over, but they're here for a mission.
Sure.
So yeah, I think you guys meet up with Avon and Henry and Findahl and Tringa at some point to like kind of discuss things / catch up. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
And it bears mention that over this month, Captain Tyndall has like kept a steady fucking drunk.
Sure.
And there's been days where he's just been like sick and has just been like riding in wagons from like a ridiculous amount of alcohol consumption. But other than that, like he's like stayed pretty drunk. And Graylin actually stayed with the forward operating forces as well. He just
Oh,
stayed.
even more reason for me to be with them because I don't fucking trust that guy.
And he didn't stay with your unit specifically. He stayed like on one of the outer wings of the front, right? Because like it's 100 people. But like he's got like a real good reputation, building. Like people seem
Sure he
to
does.
like him.
I don't fucking trust him, but yeah.
Alright, just tell him the story. You can be as about him as you want.
Hold on a second. Remember that insight roll I checked? Let me do it again. Yeah, I don't fucking trust him.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, those are facts we should remember. But so the other thing is, let's talk about the involvement of Ridgecrest. So far you had not seen any troops at all. Like at all. No support. Like when you guys went through, they gave you supplies, like food and rations and stuff like that, but no troops joined. But I think you guys are gathered around one of your tents, and I don't know what you guys are discussing specifically with Findahl and Sharinga and Avon and Henry, but the conversation kind of turns, and Findahl kind of says, "Yeah, I'm sure you guys have felt it. The torrent is sporadic, to say the least. It's only getting worse."
But what could do that?
Well, and he kind of looks at his gauntlet, and then he looks at the book, and he looks at your loot, and Devin or Atlas, he looks at you, which I think something that bears mentioning, because we haven't really talked about it because we haven't really been in combat. Atlas has like that new axe, right?
Yes.
And it's every time he like summons it, he's got like this like lava brimstone kind of arm situation going on, and the axe is like very like wild and powerful looking.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a glowing red eye when this happens? Or no, is that too much? Or maybe just a
That is a
tinge
bridge
of red.
too far!
I just like your only eye glowing.
Yeah, just a little. Maybe just like a faint orange of that torrent.
What if you can open up your scarred missing eye?
Yeah, the eye that's missing glows like red hot, like a hot coal.
Very like Thor-like.
Yeah, maybe not right now.
Okay.
But like it bears mentioning that there was like a moment between you and Findahl at some point where he like talked about the metal that axe was made of.
He's like, oh yes, that's fucking Godstone.
He said it was made of torrential titanium, which is basically like he explains to you in like the worst Findahl way possible, that like it's like a metal that like was like used a lot during the Arcane Wars. Something that they don't really make anymore. It's very rare to be created because people don't do it. But so he looks at you, and in the absence of your axe, let's say like your axe isn't always with you, like because you can just like pop it into reality, right? Versus having to have it on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "This many artifacts in one spot isn't really helping the stability of things, if we're being honest. But whatever's going on in silence, it's not great. Someone's trying to make one of these tears much larger than it needs to be."
You think it's that witch from the door from way back when we first had the doors open in Oxbane?
It's hard to say, really. But
As far as I'm concerned, that witch is still encased in copper to this very day.
And you hear Avon.
She was placed inside the Copper Company.
I've told many stories around the purple fire about the cop.
Yeah, that's what they call.
You hear Avon say, "What witch are y'all talking about?"
The sand witch.
She was an elven woman. She wore armor made out of bark, and she had a big scary scythe. I didn't catch her name before I fucking encased her in copper from the torrent itself and flung her through the door to darkness.
It was
Didn't have time for pleasantries.
And you hear Tringa say, I don't know, you kind of had to be there. Really.
Yeah.
Alright. And you guys are having these conversations, and Findahl's like trying to talk to you about the dead spots, and the flap of the like tent that you guys are in kind of like comes open, and in walks in like this person in armor, like this fucking like thick metal armor with these like stone plates across it, and it's like this reddish, and he takes off his helmet, and you see Farron standing before you, and he says, "I couldn't let you have all the fun, could I, boys?"
Baron, you son of a bitch! I give him a drink.
Oh, he drinks it heartily.
Rowan uses his innate passive conjure booze.
Conjure booze. I mean,
It's always
everybody knows it's a well-known fact that Rowan at all times is alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you wish to Chris to know his name, he will be there, and he smells time travel, and Atlas is a mama's boy. These are our innate passives.
That's very accurate.
So you get when you choose the class.
As soon as you choose Barbarian, you get Mama's Boy.
Yeah.
Sorcerer, you can smell time travel. Bard, you just summon, you have drinks on you at all time. I think those are canon.
Yeah, I'm in contact. Hey, wizards? Yeah, the mayor and wizards are on the line. Hold on a second. Yeah. That's going to be in the next errata.
6e. This is just 6e content. Yeah.
No, it's errata. It's going to be altered for this version.
Oh, okay. Good, yeah. So Farron it comes into the tent and says, We couldn't let you boys have all the fun. Us Ridgecrest Legion, we're ready for a fight.
It's good to have you, friend.
What have I missed?
Well, I mean, it's just a lot of fighting. That's all you've really missed.
I didn't miss any of that.
Taking fiends, putting them back in the hell where they belong. The usual.
Okay, great. So Farron says, but I do have one more gift for you boys.
Ooh.
I love gifts.
Oh, good, because I came with plenty of them. Follow me. And he kind of leads you out the tent.
And you walk outside, and there's 1,000 fiends surrounding you, and the whole village is burning, and this is the...
Yep, and Farron was...
This is the best gift ever.
Yeah, I have so many of these to kill. How did you know I want them, Farron? No, he leads you out, and Henry is on the other side. Well, no, he was in the tent with you. But, so Henry comes out with you guys, and Farron says, I hear you're going ahead.
Pretty routinely, yes.
Seek out diplomacy. Well, I meant you boys are going ahead.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, naturally. We always try to end up in the forefront.
Not without the god.
Yes, we don't particularly need them. We're here on a diplomatic mission. We're not here to fight.
Well, as much as I appreciate your optimism, from what you say and from what the reports I've seen there's going to be war ahead, whether you like it or not.
They said the same thing when it came to making it through the Ridgecrest Peaks. They said war is the only option. We'll have to fight our way through.
Fair, but literally, we've been attacked, or you guys have been attacked on the way. So
By the fiends, not the people of Silence.
well, of course, and I when I say war, I mean war with the fiends.
I see.
I'm more worried about them than I am about.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck them in the butt for sure.
Oh,
what? Say that
go with the
again.
butt fucking.
That's the only way
you
you
can
can
kill
them
them.
forever.
Wait, hold on. a
You
second.
know the secret. I thought you said you did have.
I told you I fought these things before.
Yes.
So the way I was doing it was just wrong, or am I wrong?
Well, if
No,
you don't
you
fuck
were
them in
doing
the
it
butt,
right.
they just put themselves back together.
Yeah, they'll
missed a
you
piece.
chop into 1,000 pieces, you walk away, they just reassemble. So you've spent the entire last 2 years doing nothing. You've wasted all of your time.
Should have been doing was fucking them in the butt.
If you would have fucked them in the butt, they would have been gone forever.
Hey, for all the kids out there listening, this is how you kill demons.
Look,
This is true.
we're back on the butt fucking demons, but this time it's
think
not
we
a
just
demon that
deleted
butt
all
fucks
Catholic
you.
churches right there.
You but in silence, demon don't fuck but fuck you. You butt fuck demons.
I say again, this is episode brought to you by Not Safe for Work.
This is brought to you by alcohol.
Rainbow. Okay.
Butterfly.
God, part of me
in the
hopes Ginge does
sky.
cut that out.
I can fly twice as
No,
high.
leave it. Let's be men. No, but so Farron and Henry kind of walk you down through this this encampment, and Henry kind of says, "Are we? Well, you boys are talented, and seem to have a knack for trouble. We can't let you go alone. So,
This is where we get Jaegers.
This is where we get mechs for sure, right?
all right, everybody pick a mech. Come on now, everybody pick your mech.
Spider-Man!
Okay, yeah. No, everybody pick your tiny little robot that turns into a bigger robot. No,
Spider-Man.
no. He kind of motions towards some troops and says, "Well, we're going to send you with your own troops to lead and command as you see fit. They will be yours to direct."
Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Hello, gentlemen, ladies. Your first order is stay the fuck here. Bye.
I don't think that's his intent. I think he wants to do his part.
We don't need an army because we're not marching as an army. We're going as emissaries of peace. Coming
But-
with armed troops sends the wrong message.
But not for the demons, because the demons are still going to affect Silence as well.
Yes, and we can maneuver around them and we can make our way to the capital just fine on our own, like we've always done.
But if we can take the doors out on the way, we're doing everyone a favor.
Why don't they just take care of the doors while we do this other thing?
I agree. But then that
Sounds
would
good.
they mean they need to do that and not stay here.
Why don't we command them to follow Findahl to find a door?
Yeah, sounds great.
Could Findahl make a portal?
Hands in.
Dan's in.
Hands in?
Kill the demons on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kill
Kill
the
the
Kill the
demons.
demons.
Okay, cool. You guys do a weird hand thing.
It's not weird.
We're your leaders now.
So it's called being a member of a team, Dwayne. Maybe.
Well, I mean, except for he says, "Hey, here's some troops," and you guys go, "Yeah, we don't fucking need them." All right, everybody, hands in. Anybody who is not a part of that little conversation, that's weird. Confirm.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, no, I appreciate what you're doing here, but we have to move in a small number. We can't go as a force of war. These troops are better applied to fighting the fiends. There's no fighting where we're going.
And Henry kind of laughs and says, my intention is not for you to take these for war, it was for security. But if you're so brave to venture forth and fight these fiends alone.
We're not going to fight a ton of fiends on our way to the capital. We'll avoid them. We'll steer out of their way. We have a main fighting force for that. We have a whole army that you've brought. They can handle the fiends. We're just gonna zip on in there and
Tiptoe through the tulips all the way up.
yeah. We're not here to. We're not picking fights with every fiend we see along the way.
I look at Atlas.
We're not picking fights with every fiend
With every
we see
fiend.
along the way.
Well, can we at least make this deal? If they happen upon us,
Oh yeah, well, do we fuck them in the
We'll
butt?
just-
But
ma-
not every
well,
fiend.
I still cannot confirm that is the way that they are
It is.
dispatched.
No, we've done the research in the archive.
Then you know what? I will provide my method, the old 1-2, and I would like to see your 3.
You've got.
If I could just get that comic of
Yeah,
Atlas
that's-
killing a fiend. And
There goes your
Atlas
legs.
And then Atlas just like, you see the next panel of Atlas just like disgusted. And then there's
just
no
Kristoff
third
says,
panel.
Look away.
Yeah, it's Kristoff. It's Kristoff, like, just chest up, turned back, look away.
He has chest hair somehow, just this
God,
one
no.
scene.
God no, please. Don't.
Big, like
It's
Burt
heart-shaped.
Reynolds.
No.
Burt Reynolds.
Congratulations,
No.
we just wrote our
Austin
own fan
Powers.
fiction. We just wrote
Austin
our own
Powers.
fan fiction.
No.
God damn
Yes,
it.
Austin Powers. I need
Look
the
away,
Austin
baby.
Powers face.
No. No.
I
All right,
need
I'm
this
done with the
more than
podcast.
anything.
Bye. Bye.
Hey, Mom,
I quit.
please.
I quit.
I need
I
this
quit.
more than anything.
No, I
need
quit.
Austin Powers Kristoff.
Do it for my birthday.
So bad.
I will.
Do
You will
it
have
for
to
my birthday.
replace me. You will have to find someone else to come in and be like, oh, but fucking.
Hey, Mom, good news. You've got to roll on the show.
Yeah, have fun.
So my favorite thing
Enjoy.
is that like 10 minutes ago we had a really heartfelt scene with fucking Henry and then getting a sword and then him giving his ghost girlfriend to Findahl. And now we're just back on this butt fucking demons train. We're running a train
Welcome to
on
Lawful
demons.
Stupid. Welcome to Lawful
Alright,
Stupid.
train on demons.
So you decline the help. And so you guys choose to venture forth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Indubitably.
there anything you'd like to do prior to that?
Get turned.
No, I've already done all the things I need to do.
Okay, cool. So
Travel on.
you guys march.
I pull out my Marauders map, my Adventurer's Friend map, and I have it plot a course with the least danger leading into the capital of Silence.
That's not how that map works. The map tells you where you want to go. It's not like tell you. You can't be like, all right, GPS. I want to stop for the most economical ATM, and then of course we gotta eat. And
You said to avoid the pitfalls along your journey. That's the direct quote.
yeah, I mean, but its goal is to take you where you want to go, right? So you tell it, I want to go to this place. It gives you directions. Like ideally, it gives you the safest path. I'm just telling you, like
Sure.
you don't get more instructions than I need direction to here.
Okay.
Just
Kind
so
of made it sound different when you described it. That's fine.
I think it's like a GPS, but it doesn't give you like a best route option.
I mean, it gives
Okay.
you the best route, right? I'm just saying, like, you can't give it additional instructions. You say, I want to go here. It attempts to give you the safest path, right? Like,
It does it naturally without.
it does it naturally, yes.
Okay.
Like, so that's its point. I'm just saying, like, for canonically, because I know how Shane's fucking brain works, you get to say, I want to go here, and then it attempts to pick the safest path for you. You don't get to give it additional instructions.
Sure,
Just
I
get its
want, so
updates,
I
bro.
can't abuse it to say like I want to go here, but the path that has the most gold on it.
Yes.
Right.
For
Yeah,
example,
I
but
got-
yes. Yeah.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. Yes, I say I would like to go to the capital of Silence, please, to the map.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you guys march forward. And so remember, it's super fucking cold. Tyndall in tow.
Tyndall's coming with.
I mean, he told you he would go with. You said
True.
Yeah.
follow him
Yeah.
to the end.
What a
I
dude.
kind of don't want him here now.
Well, then you can have that conversation with him prior to departure. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
probably
stop
just
you.
like, hey Tyndall, you're all fucked up all the time, and your liabilities want you to stay behind.
You're kind of bringing this down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to babysit drunk you in the fucking tundra.
Okay, cool. You get a little prompt after this. Findahl will remember this.
No, I'm just. Oh, I say to him like, "Hey, you're obviously mourning. You're obviously hurting. Why don't you stay with the main body and we'll come back when we can."
I made you a promise, Kristoff.
Right, but you're in no shape to withhold that promise. I release you of your burden.
Okay. He doesn't go with you then. Your choice.
I don't.
Your party. Okay, I'm just telling you, your party. This is an RPG. You pick your party.
I pick Alexander Goring, Devin Davenport, and Scott Shane. I pick the three. I pick my boys.
So yeah, you guys do that, and you march forward through this the snow and the tundra, and you guys like make camp and stay warm, and so like on the first night, you guys make camp and tell me a little about your situation, like the watches and stuff like that. Like what's that?
I'll
camp
take
look
first
like?
watch.
I'll take last watch.
And I guess that leaves me with the middle watch.
John Elkway can take another middle watch.
John Elway can take. He's a summoned steed. He can take literally every watch as a bonus companion.
That's
He does
true.
not need to sleep.
Yeah, I can just do that. He can fucking just hang out.
Yeah, that.
And wake me up if there's danger.
I think that's probably not a good idea with Dwayne as DM.
No, it's in addition to each of us taking.
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's just an extra perception.
Companion.
Yeah, it's just an extra, like, so you can get like a couple more hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Just trying to do a nice thing for you.
Rowan, do me a favor and roll a perception check.
Roll a deception check?
No,
Perception.
Oh, I was like, I don't.
deception too, because people ain't about what you got going on.
All right, that's not great. It's 15.
Can he also roll one for John Elway?
Yeah, you can roll for John Elway.
I don't know what his stats are.
It's a +2.
Then he rolled a 12.
John Elway not doing much for the group here.
Or you could have John Elway just aid you and take advantage of yours.
I mean, he's already rolled, so
Yeah, I'm just saying in the future.
In the future, he can for sure do that.
Well, no, I like the idea of like, all right, I had my shift. I'm like, okay, John Elkway, you're up.
Yeah, so with a 15, you're approached in your like camp by a male figure, and he is like decked out in this like armor that has like a sheen to it, and it's got like this almost iridescent like blue glow in the metal itself. Like, so when you look at the metal and like when the fire of your camp like shines off of it, it's like that gray steel is almost got this like blue shine to it. And he's got like a cloak that like is kind of bundled around him, but you notice like he doesn't seem to be using it for warmth. It just happens to be there.
A statement
and as
piece.
he like,
I love it.
What?
A statement piece.
Yeah, it's a statement piece. And so as he like comes out of the darkness and just like with like pure confidence walks up and like sits down across from you, you see a very familiar helmet. It's very much what you saw your last counterpart in the Reclaimers
Oh, okay.
to be wearing. And he sits across from you and says, "You had to come to silence," and like cracks his neck and like shrugs his shoulders, kind of like stretching things out as he sits down by the fire.
Of course, it's my place of birth, using my actor feat to sound just like Kristoff and not just look like him.
Okay, roll a deception check.
I would love to. It's a 31.
Gosh.
And you hear him kind of laugh, and he says, Place of birth, huh? Interesting. All the same, I'm going to need that artifact of yours.
Oh, which one?
And you kind of hear him like laugh and smile. Oh, I'll take the one you're holding.
Oh, the loot? I throw it to him. It's yours.
Canonically, do you throw him the loot of Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay. He takes it. Says, easy enough. He's gonna walk away with the loot of Wayne.
That's cool.
Okay.
I don't know what the problem with the other one was. The other one couldn't get it for the life of her.
Don't worry, she'll be dealt with. He says that as he walks away with the loot of Wayne.
Cool.
Okay. Alright, well. Easy enough. So, resolve that plot point. Alright, that's where we'll end the episode.
This podcast is over now.
I'm so fucking upset.
Well, that's where we'll end the episode with, this was like we're walking away with the loot.
Bum, bum, bum.
There's nothing I can do about it. I'm asleep.
Yep.
Yeah. Come on, Elton John, do something.
He doesn't have to do anything. It's fine. It's fine.
Tries to wake us. He shakes us to wake us up.
Dude, I don't care about you wanting to get rid of the loot. I get that, Alex. I appreciate it.
Oh, I have a bond with Wynn regardless of the loot. Like, I'm in pretty deep with him, like...
You should probably keep the one boon you get from him. I just hate the Reclaimers more than anything, and I'm like, oh, fucking yes. Please bring your fucking Thunderstone to me now. And now, when I'm at the height of my power, please bring your bullshit to me now.
But that wouldn't be a good story now, would it?
I don't know. You and fucking Wynn are just the same.
Yep. So the last thing you see is kind of him like fade into the darkness of the tundra, with that like loot in hand. That's where we're gonna end the episode, boys.
Cool.
Yeah. That's that.
I'm very confused and sad. And can't wait to play next week.
I don't know anything about it. Christoph has no idea this has ever transpired. He's not going to know where the loot went. He probably won't notice. He's a pretty self-centered kind of guy, so...
I don't know, like when I first broke the loot, you were the first person to notice it.
Yeah, but I was metagaming.
A little bit, yeah.
Cool. Roll for Humanity, Harry Potter Alliance. 13.
You sound really so bummed about it.
I want to fucking murder Reclaimers! It is the one thing that has been sticking in my craw for fucking 60 episodes. Yes, I want to murder Reclaimers, and they show up at my front door at the height of my power. I'm a fucking dragon, and you're like, nah, bro, see ya.
Yeah, he no longer is defensive about his artifact and willing to fight for it. He's like, nah, fuck that. You can have it.
There could be people watching. I have to be Kristoff right now. There's bigger things afoot.
He knew. Why would you have the loot if you were Kristoff? He obviously saw through your shit.
With a 31, if he did, I'm just not rolling anything. I'm going to say I got 50 because it doesn't fucking matter.
He probably had True Sight. So if your spell's not in effect and you say you're Kristoff, the DC's going to be ridiculously high. He probably had that mask probably grants them True Sight.
I mean, maybe. Either way.
Dwayne, did he?
It's up to Dwayne.
Did he, Dwayne?
So sad,
I mean, either way, like, Rowan could have been born there.
I mean,
This
you
is
still
how the
gave
Lawful
him
Super
loot,
Boys
but-
were torn apart.
That's fine. I just fucking want to murder Reclaimers.
Oh, you'll get your chance to murder Reclaimers. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but every time I get a chance, you're like, no, it's fine. I love you. You're my girlfriend.
Yeah. So, that's a good episode.
Yeah, it's great.
Didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go, but all good.
That's because
I'm here for your payment.
everything
comes
I
due.
do is to fuck up everything everyone else does.
Well, it was a group effort this time around. Don't you worry, you're not alone.
We don't
What
want
are
your
you
troops.
talking about?
I don't
Speak
want
for
this loot.
yourself.
Go away, Tyndall.
Yeah. Let's see. The guy you like pressured into a mission, you're like, nah, fuck you, don't need you.
Because I don't want him to. Because you. Okay, but to be fair, before I made that decision, you told me he spent the entire last month in a drunken stupor. Some days he was so sick he couldn't get out of bed. So yeah, I changed my fucking mind on that one.
Hey man,
based on the information that you gave me as the dungeon master.
Hey, you do you, bro. I'm just telling you.
Hey,
I should have been more responsible for him and talked to him through his pain. It's my bad.
No talking him through. He lost his entire crew. He's the captain. Of course he was going to be in mourning. I get it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about that.
I know, but I could have given him better coping mechanisms. I was not a good dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, you definitely could have, like, talked to him more on your journeys, right? Like,
yeah. I accept
come on, Tyndall, you drunkard. Like, no intervention was held. And I gave you guys plenty of opportunity to do something across that month of time. Anyways, that was an episode, boys.
That was an episode of Lawful Stupid, I guess.
You get a good one. You get a one where Shane walks away upset, I walk away confused, Devin's all smiles, and Alex is just like, just wait for it. Just fucking wait for it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be good.
Guys, play them out real quick.
Bye.
Love you, bye.
Yeah, you are great.
It makes me happy.